We are live. All right, this is the side John. All right, they got me on the side John today. Y'all know me, y'all see me all the time. We got some good stuff going on. But first, before we even get into any of that,
Your favorite rapper of all time. Go!
Biggie Smalls is the illest.
Occasionally I do something called the 5-star shout out. I love to say this line. I'm not gonna say it because I don't believe in it. I don't believe in you can't make a you know what I'm talking about. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Side John. Glad to have everybody here with us. I'm your host this morning, Sharon the Chocolate Girl. I'm joined with my very distinguished colleagues this morning. Mr. Sam Sports himself, BJ, and the one and only Fred Wilson the second. Not the first, the second.
hold on. Football season over with now, Sharon. We could be friends again. We could be friends again now. Football season's over with. How his intro better than mine? That's crazy. I feel some kind of way. You gave him all that energy. My energy was on like 10%. His energy was on like 1,000.
my God.
That's crazy.
First of all, don't be so sensitive. Don't be in your feelings. You know how much I love you. You on the show today, ain't you?
I'm nervous, but I'm here though.
No, but welcome to the Side John. I'm so glad to have y'all this morning. How y'all feel? How's y'all week been? Go ahead and go first since you want to be first in everything, BJ. Even though we do have a special guest, but okay, go ahead.
Oh, so I ain't special either?
No,
That's crazy.
you're not special. No, you one of the crew.
No, my week was okay. Working Valentine's Day, working in the snow. Did you see how much snow we supposed to get on Wednesday? They talking about 20 inches. Woo.
Oh,
What?
We didn't
By
have any-
by Friday
down.
morning, supposed to be 20 inches. I think Boston supposed to get like 35. Like I'm sick of this goddamn snow. But we ain't have snow in a while, so we are due for a big snowstorm. So.
no, we never do. There's no dew for snow. Never. No dew for snow. How about you, Fred? How was your week?
I mean, it was good. I went to work, came home, watched TV, went to work, came home, watched TV, so on and so forth. It was good. It was fine. We didn't get no snow, but I live in the desert. We got rain though. I got like our first measurable rain. Like, I think it was like 214 days or 44 days, something like that.
Wow.
We was close to being on a drought record, and we got rain on it rained pretty much all day Thursday. So
yeah, y'all needed some rain. So did we.
No tip.
We needed rain too. We hadn't had rain in a while, and I didn't realize it had been so long. But we finally got some rain. Did y'all watch the Super Bowl?
Was that Super Bowl?
It was.
I actually didn't. I had to work, and there was no reason for me to try to get out of it because normally I don't work for the Super Bowl. But this year I was like, ain't no way that they not gonna let those people, as in the Chiefs, three-peat. And I was pleasantly surprised that they got whipped with an extra H. They got, and I hate the fact that they left Mahomes in there to pad them stats and make it where, because we look at the final score, what was it, like 40-24 or something like that? That don't look bad. Nah, it was 40-6 with like 5 minutes left. So he threw that little last touchdown, them last touchdown passes, which were like a 90. His passer rating was like 95. But I was like, no, your overall passer rating for the game was like 50 something. You was at like 50 something.
It was booty.
They got whipped.
It was booty.
It was hard.
Yeah, they did.
Because as a Niner fan, I think most everybody in the Niner Empire, we 100% realize that if Drake Greenlaw doesn't get hurt last year, we win that Super Bowl. And watching this year, it 100% solidified for it. Because then Philly's defense this year is better than our defense last year. No doubt.
Number one. They were the number one defense.
And not one point during that game did Andy Reid ever figure anything out. So I'm 100% convinced that he would have never figured us out either. Because Travis Kelce was starving to death before Drake Greenlaw got hurt.
Well, let me say this. Wait a minute. Are you telling me you one of the people who believe that they were trying to rig this season for them to win? You really thought so?
I don't like to go there, but sometimes like you can only hit me with like it when you just look at stuff, it just don't look right. And then to me, the biggest smoking gun for the NFL is y'all didn't get in bed with gambling. Y'all gotten gambling pregnant. And I'm like, think about this. If you got this league of sports and it's just like, all right, we got one team, another team, just go out there and see what happened. But every commercial break is gambling. If you watch ESPN on the bottom lines, they got the point. I'm like, y'all done got in bed with gambling so much. And then you got this one team that they win like 12 straight, 14 straight one possession games that just keep game after game after game. They are just touched by an angel. Like, again, you don't want to come out and say it's rigged, but when you get too much information presented with you, you kind of get left with no choice but to think like, yo.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not. I'm not one of those people that believe that. I just don't. I don't believe it. I do believe that they got some bad officiating, but you know what? What I'm finding that is across all sports now.
Yeah, of course.
All officiated sports have bad officiators.
And here's the thing: it's always been the officiating. I don't think it's changed that much. The difference is now you sitting at home and you've got 97 replays and 57 views. So it's like you got to realize these are middle-aged to older men out here on this field with some of the most incredible athletes in the world, and they are keeping up and they are watching. You got 22 dudes moving. They do a great job. Because how are you seeing everything? And then you you're sitting at home with the benefit of 3 different reviews. You're like, yeah, how did you miss that holding call? Well, because if I look over here and do this real quick, I didn't see that. So I get that. But what bothers me when it's a blatant call right in your face, right in your face, and you don't call it. That's when I get mad. Yeah, when Patrick Mahomes is rolling to the right and stops and gets a pass off that leads to a first down or a touchdown, and the defender right in front of him gets held, that you got called.
Same thing happened when the Steelers played the Browns. I swear to God, George Pickens pass interference 4 times in a row, right in front of the officiator, right there. Didn't call it 4 times. But and then everybody got mad when he was frustrated and pushed that dude on out the line, out the end zone, and people were mad at him, talking about he don't know how to behave. He was frustrated. 4 times in a row, good catches, pass interference.
How about this?
I'm just like, what are you doing? So anyway, I think it was bad. It was bad this year. It was one of the worst officiating seasons I've seen in a while.
Or let's just say you have a game, not an important game, what was that game they had last February out here in Las Vegas between the Niners and the Chiefs? It wasn't important. It wasn't an important game. And you got the best left tackle in the NFL gets called for a hold, which he was holding. It was a good call. But then you have the coach, the person that coaches the best left tackle in the NFL is like, all right, cool. That was a hold, but I'm going to tell you what, the other team, they're going to do that in almost every single play. So if you're going to call it on us, make sure you're watching them.
Make sure you
call it. For the next 56 minutes of football, the other team proceeds to do exactly what the coach just told you it was going to do. And for some, you can't find a flag to throw You can't find the flag. Your mouth is dry. You can't blow a whistle or nothing.
Can't blow a whistle. Can't do nothing.
Just weird. Just weird stuff like that.
Can't do nothing. Yeah, I understand. I agree with you on that. But I just stopped at going all the way to some type of conspiracy. I just can't do that.
I don't want
because it would seem like to me, it would seem like to me if they wanted to do something really big, they could have let Detroit win. They could have let Detroit win it all, because that to me would have really been something if they went to the Super Bowl and won it. I was actually hoping for that.
Yeah, I'm not. Here's the thing. I've always had a soft spot for Detroit because of Barry Sanders. And
well, that ain't why I had it.
And people don't like Dan Campbell's first game as a head coach was against the 49ers. And I was like, okay, this dude is different. The way he is coaching is different. I don't know if it's going to work, but he is doing what he's supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. But now I'm like, nah, I don't want, because one, it's too many Lion fans, people that's claiming they Lion fans. I'm like, just because you live in Detroit, in Michigan, don't make you a Lion fan. And two, that will be a problem for the next 10 years that I don't want to deal with. So I'm not rooting for Detroit for that reason. Because first of all, it's all about this empire. But I can't do reflections. It's all about this empire. So Detroit is going to be a problem for us. But yeah, that aside, they are doing the right things up in Detroit. But yeah.
Yeah,
but no, I was just glad to see the Chiefs not winning, and two, like I'm watching this game, I'm like, y'all getting blown out, you throwing interceptions. Joe Montana.
Well, I didn't want. Well, listen. I don't know if I ever told you, but to me, Joe Montana is still a GOAT. I don't care what anybody says. It's not Tom Brady to me. It's Joe Montana, and I will maintain that until somebody takes him off the throne. But one of the things that I did not like is that, with Patrick Mahomes' success, the first thing I kept hearing was, oh, he better than Joe Montana. I was like, no, he's not. He's just starting out. This was when he was just starting out. They already wanted to crown him. Yeah. I said, do you even remember Joe Montana's NFL career and how it started? Did you even remember what this man did? Stop it. And so I'm done. I agree with Stephen A. Smith. You can just take that conversation and put it in the garbage. It's no longer a conversation. But anyway, enough about sports. We got a really serious show today. I don't know if y'all ready for it. I'm breaking my own rule. I don't usually talk about religion or politics. I tend to stay away from talking about that in public settings, but I just felt like it was just too important not to talk about. Those of you who've been watching, you all know that I've been sick and I was out for like 2 months, hadn't been here. Then the election happened while I was out, and it's just been a mess, right? And now we're here, and some things have gone on. So, we're witnessing a time in our political history that we have never seen before, at least not in my lifetime, and that's a long time because I'm old. But before we get started, I just want to take a hot second to remember a great statesman. So while I was out, we lost President Jimmy Carter. So he died on the 29th of December. He was 100 years old. This man is the whole reason why I even got started being interested in politics. It was just something about this peanut farmer who decided to run for president. And my grandfather was a farmer. And peanuts was one of the things he used to grow. So I connected with him just because of him being a peanut farmer. That's how I started even following who this man was. And so people say that his presidency wasn't successful. I disagree. I felt like he was successful. He really tried to be a good man while being president of a country that's kind of corrupt in certain ways, but he tried. And he held on long enough. He was sick. Everybody knew he was in hospice. He was ready to die, but he held on long enough just so he could cast his vote for Vice President Harris for president. And then he, after the election, passed away. So rest in peace to him. Nobel Peace Prize winner. He's the one that had the peace in the Middle East with Egypt and Israel. He brokered that deal. So rest in peace, Jimmy Carter. Job well done. So from this man of integrity now, we go to the current president who's in office right now. I call him 47 Problems. I don't even want to say his name. So I'll be calling him 47 Problems in this show. I'm not saying it. Y'all can say it, but I'm not saying his name. He was the 45th. Now he's the 47th president. And we're just going to talk about it. We're going to talk about some of the things we've seen. We know how the election went. Were you surprised? Were either of you surprised at how the election went as far as a presidential election, or did it go as you expected? Go first, BJ. I really want to know what you think, because I've heard what Fred thinks, but I want to know what you think.
So I don't. It wasn't no shocker. I knew he was going to win from when he first announced that he was running. First of all, you let him run with all the charges and the cases, the BS that he did, the stuff that he was suspected of doing, the stuff that we knew he didn't care about, the people we knew he didn't care about, the things he said he was going to. It was just every time he said something, it was like he got bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger. And I was like, it don't matter. The only person that's going to beat him is Jesus. No matter who you put on the other side, he was going to clean sweep.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think that is?
Everybody had their mind made up. Well, so Biden, I don't think Biden held up to his end of the bargain of what he said he was going to do. Biden was getting older. He was falling up and down the steps. He was halfway asleep, sitting around. Everything, it was just all the negativity. You know, the media was just running with the negativity, and it was a lot that it just wasn't doing. And Kamala, she it wasn't no better. It was like they was one and the same, and I just don't think they was ready for. I definitely don't think they was ready for a woman to be in charge. They was digging up dirt like they was out there trying to find a gold mine or something. Like I this world is a crazy place, and sometimes I be on social media too much, and I go to that rabbit hole. And Jonathan always telling me, "Yo, you gotta just cut it off for a while." I'm like, "Yo, these people crazy, yo! Like, what are they talking about?" And then, but it wasn't no shocker to me. It was written in stone that he was going to win, and wasn't nobody going to touch him. He wasn't going to come close to winning. And it was just day by day. My father used to call me all the time and be like, "Oh man, like he said that." It don't matter what he did. It don't matter what he did. No man, he could have gotten a car, rolled over 3 kids, got it there, and said something crazy, and still would have won. Like, it does not matter what he did. He was going to win. Mm-hmm. Did we get out and vote? Yes, we got out and vote. Did we quit? No, we didn't quit. We was fighting.
It is what it is. What you got to say about that, Fred?
I gotta push back, my man BJ. You're incorrect. Jesus was a dark-skinned, poor immigrant. He would have lost to Trump. and these here, United States of America. Oh yeah, he would have lost to Trump. But no, I 100% agree. Like the problem is, and I don't like Democrats, Republicans, left, right. Is this two-party system is trash, but it's what we have. And the problem is like I'll be looking at the Democrats sometime, and I'm like, why y'all out here trying to play soccer on a basketball court? Do you know what game you're in? Because as we were speaking about off camera, all right, you get rid of Trump. Biden comes in. Biden should have been a one-term president. All right, cool. We need somebody to get this man up out of here. Now that we done got him up out of here, and you see that it's not looking like he is going to be out of here. Like he don't look like he's going to prison. It doesn't look like he's going to be ineligible to run. So if this monster is going to come back, who are we going to send out to fight the monster again? The almost 80-year-old dude that barely won the first time? Probably not. So the Democrats should have put somebody. And let's say if they was going to go with Kamala. All right, fine. Y'all should have been propping her up for the last 3 years of the Biden presidency, being like, okay, this is who she is. This is what she's done. She's going to be the next. She's going to be the future. But they didn't. They forced Joe out after that debate where it was like everything we knew about Joe Biden, as BJ alluded to, with him being old and his mental faculty starting to slow down and this and that and blah, blah, blah. We knew these things, but it took for us to see them in that debate to where they were like, okay, this ain't going to work. We got to push him up out of here. And then at that point, you're kind of left with Kamala. Because really, like, what are you going to do at that point? You're going to go through the whole primary? No, you can't do that. So now you're left with Kamala. And I have nothing against Miss Harris. You know, whatever. I know, like, some of the things she's done that's great, some things she's done not great, whatever. I have nothing against her. The problem is you're the vice president of this administration that people are not helping with, right? Because as they alluded to, like, here's the thing. The last time when Biden went, oh, we're going to do student loan forgiveness, that didn't really come through. All the things that you said is typical for America. Politicians talk about doing stuff, things don't happen. But the other thing that y'all had to deal with was genocide. Because for some reason, everybody now just started to realize that we fund Israel. Like, I don't know where y'all been for your entire lives, but for some reason, Joe Biden is the reason why we fund Israel. And so he's got that Genocide Joe label, which I knew was going to lose a lot of young people. Like,
yeah.
People were not going to vote because there's no way they're going to vote for Trump, but they're not going to vote for Biden again because of the whole genocide thing.
Right.
Now you got Kamala. Well, who are you attached to? Joe Biden. So everything that they don't like about Joe Biden, they're not going to like about you because, again, Kamala Harris allegedly is the first vice president in history that didn't do anything. And I'm like, vice presidents never really do anything. Your job is to hold this clipboard, Curtis Painter, and if something happened to Peyton Manning, be ready to go in. But your job ain't to be Peyton Manning. But with Kamala, remember, it's like, oh, you didn't do this for the last 4 years, and you didn't do that for the last 4 years. And I'm like, she ain't been president. But again, facts don't matter when you talk about the collective intelligence of America. So he was almost dead in the water. And then the campaign came through with the most genius ploy. Because remember when Kamala came and there was a lot of groundswell behind there and Trump was fouling, and then what happened? He was almost assassinated.
Yeah, it was bullshit.
Because ain't nobody shoot at that man.
Y'all know that was bogus. Both of them were bogus.
What other was the one with the gun in the bushes? That was kind of nothing. But the one and where with the it. Come on now,
right? It was fake.
It was genius because it was like, all right, you getting whipped. What? Oh my God, he was almost killed. Oh my God, they almost killed him, and he's still fighting for us. Yeah. And then you ran a campaign on fear and hatred. And when you run a campaign on fear and hatred in a nation, let's go with the hatred, a nation that was founded by and still has white supremacy in its DNA, hatred is going to help. And then when you convince a bunch of stupid people to fear things that are rational, because I'm going to leave it off on this, right? If we talk about the trans community and the trans community having rights, people be like, oh, why are we worried about them? They make up 0.001% of the population, right? Mm-hmm. But then when we talk about bathrooms, now all of a sudden, every Target you walk into, there's got 3 or 4 trans people in it. Which is it? Mm-hmm. Are trans people not enough to matter, or are they everywhere where your kids are going to be? But you run a campaign on fear and hatred against an opponent that's just not set up well. Trump
well, basically, what this election proved is that hatred and fear outweighs integrity in this country. 100%. That's the problem.
100%.
That's a huge problem if you think about it, because the lies that came out of that side of the aisle were just, lies that I couldn't have even dreamt of. I just couldn't have. I would have never thought to do an assassination attempt and fabricate that.
Right. But it was genius.
I never would have thought of saying that Haitians are up in Springfield, Ohio, eating cats and dogs. And for them to believe this shit, believe it. I had a coworker tell me, but Sharon, there was a video on TikTok where the people said, and you could see on the video where they were actually taking somebody's dog. I said, it's TikTok. Are you serious? You really believe this? I said, you're talking about my hometown. I know these people. They're not eating no cats and dogs. What are you talking about? But they believed anything this man said. And why? Because I believe he fed into their inner white supremacy. And those who are not white that fell for him were just angry and confused with our own. Why? Because the Democratic Party, as Brian says in the comment, is soft right now. Democrats are not standing up doing their job. They're not doing their job. But here, newsflash, y'all, Democrats really haven't been doing their job since 2000. I'm gonna say that they really haven't been, not in terms of elections. I know Obama won twice. I got it, and Biden won. I got it, but Democrats have been too soft since 2000 when they stole that election away from Al Gore. I'm just saying that.
Can I ask a question?
We don't have to stay there. We can move on, but I'm telling y'all, it was stolen, and you can't convince me otherwise.
So as far as the Project 2025, right? We knew that allegedly Trump was behind it, but the media was in an uproar about it. It was a few people here and there, but even the Democrats, they wasn't fighting against it.
Not enough.
So that's why I was like,
I was in a group that actually took time to read all 932 pages and break all that stuff down, right? We did it. We took every chapter, went through everything. It was frightening. If you read that thing is frightening as hell. But everything that they've done, word for word, was in that document that nobody would take time and read. And the Democrats didn't do enough of it. They didn't hit it enough in the media. But then his supporters, 47 Problems supporters, all said that it was a lie. He said he didn't know about it, so he didn't know about it. Half of the people who were in his cabinet wrote the damn thing, and you think he honestly didn't have anything to do with it.
Right.
See, this is what I'm talking about. It's the common sense piece in America that's like gone. No, it's like what happened to common sense and being able to have deductive reasoning and seeing what's reality in front of you versus what this idiot is saying. What happened? I don't understand it. It's like you got like everybody on meth in this country. I don't understand it
right now. I have good news for you. Donald Trump is not the president of the United States right now. So
Elon Musk.
No. It's not even Elon
Musk.
That's
worse.
That's not even Elon Musk. Because think about this. When he ran the first time, Donald Trump, both his campaigns, he ran on fear and hatred. And the first time, what was the two things he talked about? Building the wall, and what was the other thing? I'm gonna drain the swamp, right? I'm gonna go into Washington. I'm gonna drain the swamp. And what did he go into Washington do? Not any of it. But if you look at what he's doing right now, these are the type of things that you do if you quote unquote want to drain the swamp, right? We're gonna slash the government. We're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna get rid of that, right? Whether you like it or not, if somebody is like, yo, I'm gonna go into Washington and I'm gonna drain the swamp, what's going on right now is what you do. Why didn't he do it the first time? Because it ain't him. The Heritage Foundation is the president of the United States right now. Because like you said, everything that he's done falls right in line with Project 2025. So here's the thing. There's one or two things. Either Donald Trump is a soon-to-be 80-year-old puppet where the Heritage Foundation is just trotting him out there and having them sign the executive orders they need him to sign, or he is just, again, showing himself to be a completely fraudulent con man because as y'all both mentioned, every single time Project 2025 was brought up, I don't have nothing to do with it. I don't even know what it's about. That has nothing to do with me, blah, blah, blah. But then here you are, and you are literally doing Project 2025.
Exactly.
So you are, once again, a fraudulent con man, or you are just a puppet. And for the Trump supporters out there, I just want to know which one of those two things sits right with you. That your president has yet again proved, and I say yet again because we already knew this, that he is a fraudulent con man, or that he is a puppet, and the Heritage Foundation is really running this country.
They are. They wrote it
because he didn't do none of this.
It was their brainchild, but they wrote it in conjunction with him, and this is what I don't understand. But let me ask you this next question: are y'all surprised that the Republicans got all three branches of government right now? They've got the Supreme Court, they've got the White House, and the Congress. They got all of it. Is anybody surprised? And what kind of does that strike any fear in your heart at all, or is it just like, oh well, just another day in America?
I'm not surprised at all. I didn't know they had all three branches. That part I didn't deep dive into. I didn't really get into politics until Trump ran the first time, I voted every year, but I just voted for whoever was the main person until when Trump was running and a lot of things started not making sense the first time. And I started reading into it. I didn't know what I was getting into. So I didn't vote for Trump. I wrote my own name in there, president. So don't judge me. Listen, I know I'm part of the problem. I definitely wrote my own name in there. But that's when I started getting into this. So I'm still new to this. So I pay attention to certain things. I can't keep up with all of it because I jumped down that rabbit hole again. Once I go down that rabbit hole, it get dark down there once you go down there. So I try to only go to where somebody can grab me and pull me out. Yo, get by here, shorty. But I didn't pay attention to all three branches of government. I did not do that. I just been paying attention to your actions and the dominoes that fell from the centerpiece.
Fred?
There absolutely there's no part of me that's surprised because again, the Democrats are terrible at the game of politics. I swear, like y'all don't know what sports you're playing. You're out here halftime of the Super Bowl with Jordans and basketball shorts. Like, yo, we playing football. What are you doing? So, and again, if you look at it, left, liberal, those words might as well be new swear words. The amount, how easy it is to get people riled up against anything that has to do with the left, liberals, the Democrats. So yeah, y'all go out here, y'all run a terrible campaign. Y'all had control of stuff. Things didn't magically get better, which I don't know why Americans expect that. You know, we got a jalopy of a car, and then when we change the driver, things are gonna magically get better. So then it's like Daddy Trump comes back in, which first of all, why y'all grown people calling this grown man daddy? That's weird. But Daddy Trump comes back in, and of course they gonna win everything by a landslide. Get the Democrats out of here because they've ruined the country. They ruined the economy. They funded Israel with this genocide. They've ruined everything. Blah blah blah. And then as far as the Supreme Court, they've been playing the long game. And bless her heart, may she rest in peace. RBG, when Barack came at you and was like, "Yo, are you sure you don't want to retire? So that way we can get your successor in." And her not doing so was, I don't want to say it started the domino effect, but it was a massive domino in that effect that was like, yo, because what Trump's had three Supreme Court judges that he's appointed, something like that.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
3.
And here's the thing,
He about to get another one.
I was gonna say, I hope they're not listening because if he was smart, he would go into the oldest ones and be like, "Yo, go ahead and retire." Right?
Oh, they are.
Like
They
now.
are. They're going to.
And they will.
Yeah, they're going to.
What RBG didn't do, they will. And we're gonna mess around and have 7 out of 9 conservative-leaning Supreme Court justices. So yeah, I'm not surprised because again, the Democrats are. If this is the game that we're in, if American politics is a game, and if it's gonna be the game, start playing the game, Democrats. If you want to be either retire from the league or start playing, because y'all out here. What are you doing? Because case in point, right now, who's gonna be the Democratic nominee in 4 years? Do we know?
We have no clue.
Exactly.
We have no clue.
By
no
the end of
clue at all.
2025, everybody should be able to look and be like, "Yo, that's the person the Democrats going to run."
That's the next one.
Because that's what y'all should have done last time. When Joe Biden won the election and got the monster out of there, okay, that's going to be a one-term president. Who's going to be the next? So here's the thing. How long are the Democrats going to wait until they give us some, and to finish it off, y'all have to plan on Trump running a third time. There's been talks about them introducing legislation. So if you're a Democrat, you have to assume that Trump is going to be the nominee next time. Now, if it's not true, they'll beat anybody but Trump. But you have to assume right now that you're going to be running against Trump in 3 years.
Mm-hmm. You really do, because the man is corrupt, and he the rule of law means nothing to them. Nothing.
He said
Nothing.
It's gonna be the last time voting.
That's what he said.
I did see a post when they were saying, what is it? 2028, right? The next election, 2028, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
for president.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they said they put a picture up of The Rock and Stone Cold, and they said this is going to be Barack versus Trump in 2028. And I saw it, and I was like, "Well, this world is a crazy place." But he said it's going to be the last time voting, and I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how you change the Constitution. I don't know how much work that entails. I do know that you got to go to the highest judge, correct? Got to go to the highest judge to get that stuff done. And I mean, I don't.
Right. But here's my question for all, because if you think about it, right, the people, the Republicans, the people on the right, they always like to throw around that term patriots, right? We're the patriots, we're the real patriots. To me, I take patriotism as loving your country, right? So if y'all love America so much, why y'all trying to let it end? Because here's the thing: why do you even want a third-term president? Because here's my thing: because if it's just about making America great again, and it's just about these things,
it's not.
There's 330 million people in this country. Why is Trump the only person that can do it? So how about this? Trump don't need to be president 3 times. Why don't y'all just get somebody to follow in the footsteps? Because it ain't about that. It's about Trump. And every time you tell these people, y'all are in a cult. Oh, it's not a cult. Really? Then why is Trump bigger than America to you? Oh, he's not. Yes, he is. Because again, you mean to tell me there's nobody that once Trump is done with these next 4 years, there's nobody that can just come in and be like, because isn't that the point of JD Vance? Because Trump just said the other day, they asked Trump if JD Vance is going to be the successor. And I've never heard somebody say the word no quicker in my life. She was sitting there, she was like, yeah, so do you see JD Vance as being your successor? No. Then why is he your vice president? If it's about making America great again,
he's just there. He's just there. We all know that his plan is to never leave the White House. That's his plan. His plan is to never leave. He already told us this years ago, and that's what he's going to do. Yeah. So, as far as the 3 branches of government, no, I'm not surprised that they have all 3 branches of government. I am concerned. It's a problem, especially the judicial branch being heavily conservative right now. That's a problem as far as rights are concerned. And these people out here, especially even in the comments that seem to be pro-Trump, pro-47 problems, your rights are in jeopardy as well. So while you sitting up here holding him up to be some type of savior, your rights are going to be in the toilet as well. You are not separate from this. This is not only going to affect the black and brown people and other people that you hate. It's going to affect you too. It really is. I've seen video after video of people who don't look like me crying about what has happened to them since January 20th. And I have no sympathy at all. That brings me January 20th. That was Inauguration Day. Did y'all watch? And if you did or did not, why or why not? Why did you or why didn't you? Go first, Fred.
I didn't watch. I saw a lot of it. I think I saw like him actually getting sworn. So I think I just missed all the pomp and circumstance, but I saw him getting sworn in, and then I was able to listen to his speech. I think it must have been like before I went to work or whatever. And I remember like the speech, it was very dry. Like we all know that Trump's not like public speaking is not his thing, but it looked like just some like a 5th grader standing in front of the class reading a book report about a book that they didn't read. It was very dry and just and it was filled with all the Trump hyperbole that he always does. But I was just like, do you even want to do this job? I don't know if it was the age or whatever, I don't know. It was just very dry.
Mm-hmm. What about you, BJ? Did you watch or not?
I did watch it. I wasn't like focused. I did have it on the side. But I didn't like really pay attention. But I hate all this year, like even to me, like because I be listening to a bunch of different sermons and stuff like that, and like even the pastors been taking shots at people. You'll get on stage and start taking shots at each other. Like everybody been taking shots at each other. He get right up there, and within the first 10 words he said was something about the Biden administration didn't do this. Like that's not what we here for. Just you here now. You got to do it. Like you got, and then you got to turn around, look sideways. Like come on, yo. Like, and that's what I seen a lot of that. And then he left out of there, went right into the Oval Office, got his pen and signed his fucking life away on everything. Like, it's crazy.
So what you're saying is that you didn't see any makings of a leader up there, because to your point. all right, cool. We went through this nasty election process, which elections in the United States always turn to it. But it's like, all right, cool. That's over and done with. Now, whether you like me, whether you voted for me or not, I am your leader now. My job is to get everybody to come together.
No.
This question, because I know you way more in politics than me.
Mm-mm.
Have you ever seen a president, any other presidential candidate, Barack, either one of the Bushes, Clinton, Carter, Reagan, both times you get elected, you get a PSA from public? Because remember the first time when Mike Pence went to go see Hamilton and they gave him the PSA, like, look, you the president, y'all won. You were in charge now. You have to lead everybody, not just the people that like you, not just people that voted for you, but everybody, the people you don't disagree with. And then I forget who it was this year, but somebody kind of did. The bishop, the woman, the bishop pastor lady, when she basically did the same thing. Like, look, you're the leader now. You need to lead with grace and compassion and think about everybody, not just the people you like. Like, I've never seen a situation where both times you get elected, somebody has to give you a PSA to remind you that you are the leader of the American people, not just the Trump cults.
Yeah. To answer your question, no, I have never seen this before. Never seen it before. Probably won't see it again. But I'm not surprised because he doesn't have any integrity or compassion in his body, period. He knows nothing, but he's a narcissist. He knows nothing but himself. He cares about nothing but himself and money, his money and your money. He wants all of your money, our money, my money. He wants it all and feels he deserves it. So no, I'm not surprised. And it just fits his personality and his thought process. I think one of you said something about a fifth grader. That's his capacity. He's not a bright man at all. He's smart in terms of the way he's playing this game, but that's because hours of study of Mein Kampf on his bed table next to his bed every night, reading it. And like someone said in the comments, he's following Hitler's playbook. He definitely is. And it's working. That's why Germany is so pissed with America right now. Yeah. They know firsthand. They're in the streets protesting more than we are about this man. Okay.
And NFL got games in Germany next year. Well, this year coming up. That's crazy. They about to tell us now. Go ahead, baby. Y'all good.
Trust and believe. There's gonna be some protests. There gonna be some protests outside the stadium when we go.
You think they was mad the way the Canadians? Think about this. The Canadians at the hockey games was doing the national anthem. Like, in the Canadian stereotype that they are the nicest people on earth?
Yes.
Y'all was mad about what Canada was doing the national anthem? And
next to Switzerland. Okay. Next to Switzerland, Canadians are supposed to be the most equal opportunity. We love everybody, people. No, they pissed.
Y'all go over there.
I mean, if you are independent, if you're an independent nation and somebody else's president says they're going to make you their next state, I'd be upset too. Okay, that's offensive, and it does nothing for political, relations. It's terrible the things that this man is saying and they're doing. So back to the inauguration. This is something that's not quite political, but it is. But there was a big uproar about people like Nelly and Snoop Dogg performing at these inaugural parties that were taking place that night, and Black people everywhere mad, like canceling Snoop of all people, who's probably one of the most successful rappers of all time.
I
mean, he's one of them. I'm not saying he's the, but this is a man who was just carrying the flag and
Soulja Boy was there.
Olympics, and now people are canceling him. So, are you okay with them performing at these inaugural parties, or are you not okay? You can go first on this one, Fred.
All right, yeah. So as BJ mentioned, Soulja Boy was there. I'm okay with Soulja Boy.
Yeah, that was.
You can use a check and you can use some exposure.
He said they never put the money in my pocket.
Nelly
got money.
Nelly. So when you like somebody, you tend to give them more of a benefit of the doubt. So I like Nelly. And when he was like, look, it's an honor to perform for the president, regardless of who's in the office. So the fact that somebody called me and asked me to perform on that platform, I give a little bit, okay. As far as one Calvin Brodus, I ain't messed with Snoop in a long time. One, I'm not a huge rap fan, and I don't really like West Coast rap. I don't care what the way Snoop raps, but that's neither here nor there. Snoop has bothered me for a long time, and it's funny because I was at work and I was talking to this with one of my white co-workers who was about, I think he said he's about to be 46, 47. So my middle-aged white man, regular, not like Eminem. I grew up around black people, white man. And I was talking to this about him, like the thing that bothers me about Snoop is you see Snoop doing all these things at the Olympics, narrating Animal Planet. And people are like, oh my God, it's hilarious. And I'm like, it's funny because he's ignorant. When you watch Snoop narrating an animal video and he has no idea what animal that is or what they're doing, whatever, he's ignorant. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's like literally he doesn't know what it is. And it's funny because he's sitting here trying to explain something he doesn't know about. And as I was saying that, my white coworker was like, yeah, it's almost like people are laughing at him and not with him. And I was like, exactly. And the fact he got it. And so as a black man, I find that problematic because it's like, okay, you around here and people are essentially, quote unquote, and again, this might be an oversensitivity on my part, laughing at black ignorance, right? Like, oh, look at the dumb black dude, doesn't know it, and it's funny. And I see Snoop out here doing all this stuff, and I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Like, all money ain't good money. So when I found out that Snoop was performing for Donald or at anything associated with Donald Trump, I was not surprised, nor was I disappointed. I was just like, okay, this is just confirmation for what I said. Because there's another thing that's always bothered me about Snoop. I get it. People start from different places. And where you start, you got to do what you got to do, whatever. But I don't know if y'all saw when he was at the ball, because it was the cryptocurrency thing. And he was like, yeah, they brought a real crip to the cryptocurrency. And I'm like, you are a 50-something-year-old man. Why are you still talking about this gang ignorance? That's something that's bothering me about Snoop. Like, okay, if that's where you came from, fine, whatever. You've been a rapper since what? Doggy Style came out like 93. You done did all these things. And then you got your the Snoop Football League, which he always gets praised for. You got your football league, you put all these great things with these young men. We got to keep these young men from going down the wrong path. Specifically speaking about Southern California, if you're a young black man, what's the wrong path usually? Gang life. So exactly. Your mouth, you talking about we got to get these young men on the right path. On this side of the mouth, you still out here promoting the wrong path. So I ain't messed with Snoop in a minute. So I'm ecstatic that Snoop went out there and showed a lot of people who he actually is. Mr. I would do anything for a check because I don't care. And I'm glad that everybody that's turned on him has turned on him, because you made that video in 2018, 2017, talk about coons and who's going to be the first person. You apparently.
Yeah, that didn't age well. What you think, BJ?
So can I ask the question in a different way?
Sure.
If you've been on Twitter lately, maybe the last 5-6 months, all the top page, I'm sorry, not Twitter, Instagram, all the top pages, right? Is this page I watch called Car Crashes, and the people just be doing stupid, so they run the red light. Even some of the TikTok celebrities, because that's what I call them, like the comedians that be cracking jokes or doing their little skits, things like that. They got these moments when they pit up the naked girls for 6 hours or 12 hours, and they get what $5,000 or $10,000 for pitting that for 12 hours. You know what I mean? So let's say take Sam Sports, and I done built this page, got all these followers that come to me for sports, and then one day you open up and Becky on there shaking her behind with her drawers off, pulling her drawers off, and then shaking her behind. Now the video is all of 7 seconds long. I got $10,000 for posting this video, and all I gotta do is keep it up here for 12 hours. Do you take the bag? Is everything you done? Can that be overlooked? If something just happened with the Steelers, Pickens, and you come to my page to find out about Pickens, and then boom, Becky on there twerking like I don't know what, but I got $10,000. I only got to keep this up here for 6 hours. The comments be like, man, what did I open up, man? What's going on? Hey, what's up with you? Like, you know what I mean? So everybody's priorities are different. Me and June had this conversation the other day. I said, June, I don't know, yo. Like, I don't know if I would do that. Like, I don't know. Like, you built this page, and now you're going to sacrifice everything. Like, granted, you might only lose 100 followers. Granted, from that one video, you might get 200 followers. You know what I mean? From people to come see whatever's next. So, what you built to what you get, where your priorities lie at. Like Soulja Boy said, the other people ain't never put no money in my pocket. He ain't say they never put no money in my pocket. Nelly said it's an honor to do this in front of whoever is president. So is as long as they can sleep at night, I ain't hating on you getting your money. I ain't hating on you getting out there. You know what I mean? But I do understand all aspects of how you look at it.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me tell you, for me, I'm not a big counselor anyway. I'm just not big on counseling folks, especially not in my own community. I'm just not. But I'm all for canceling them blatant racists out here. Yeah, I'm for counseling them, getting them fired and everything. I'm all for that. But I'm not for counseling people based upon a decision that they made, a financial decision they made for them. I can say I couldn't have done it. I don't care how much. There's no amount of money that you could pay me to do anything like that. In your case, BJ, the example about the naked booty shaking woman, it's all about your values and your integrity. Mm-hmm. That's what it comes down to me. Because if I'm doing a sports page and you come to me and tell me, if you put this naked ass woman up here for 6, what would you say, 6 hours or 12 hours, and we'll give you $10,000 or whatever, I'm not doing it. No matter how badly I need $10,000, because to me that's the exploitation of women. I'm a woman. What I look like putting that up there for some money? I'm not doing that. See? So that's where I'm at with this. When I first heard about who people were canceling, it was problematic for me. I like all three of those artists. I like Soulja Boy. I like Nelly. Love Snoop. Been feeling Snoop ever since his first video.
Rick Ross was there too.
Who?
Rick Ross.
Yeah, Rick Ross. I mean, hey, Hustling. I still sing that rap at karaoke. I rap that song at karaoke all the time. I still love Rick Ross, but I'm not canceling them. I haven't gotten rid of my R. Kelly collection of CDs either. I'm just not doing it. Okay, what they do in their private life, that's the private life. But as far as entertainers, they're entertainers to me. I still listen to Chrisette Michele. She been blackballed 8 years. It's ridiculous. The woman can't even make money singing because she performed at the inauguration of the Fool the first time. And I always felt like that was wrong. I understand people's argument as to why you shouldn't do it. And yeah, you look like a coon. I don't even like that word. I don't even usually utter that word in public. Will not, but I just did. Just for the sake of this conversation. I just really can't get with that. You know, it's Snoop. If this was some other unknown rapper, maybe I could be more upset about it, but I don't know. And like you were saying, you're a Nelly fan. I'm a big Nelly fan too. I mean, Midwest. He's from St. Louis, so hey. But I couldn't have done it. And I don't care how much money they offered me. But I do understand why people are feeling the way they feel. And I just think that they're taking it a little bit too far on this social media, because they're saying stuff about him like, I ain't never this and I ain't never that. I ain't never gonna, support him again and all that stuff. That stuff is that's just a little bit too permanent.
So can I ask a question? Mm-hmm. Would you do an interview with Trump?
Interview?
One-on-one? Yeah,
no.
One-on-one sit down.
No. See, somebody as evil and sick as him, I can't stand him being in my aura, be it in person or digitally. I couldn't do it. I couldn't be in a Zoom room with him trying to have a conversation with him. No, I can't. I mean, I'm a professional. I do this for a living. I interview people. I'm a published journalist, all these wonderful things. I could never interview that man. I can't do it. I ain't Barbara Walters. I'm not her.
I don't have a platform, but
I know you. I know you would do it.
See this right now. One, unless it's live, it'll never. If it's not live, it'll never air. And two, if it is live, because I'm gonna ask him questions. He gonna refuse. I'll be like,
let me tell you, Fred. If you ever interviewed him, I would pay money to see that. You wouldn't even have to give it to me free. I would pay money to see you interview that man. I really would.
Live, it would never air. Because again, the first thing I'm asking was like, yo, so what's wrong with you to the point where you want to have sex with your daughter?
That'd be my first question.
And my thing is this. I don't work for CNN. I'm not gonna let you slide off because he go, well, no. Mr. Trump, that's not the question I asked you. What I asked you is, why is it that on several occasions you have publicly sexualized your own daughter? Well, no.
Hey,
sir, answer the question. Yeah, and then interview over. He done got over.
He gonna say, and they gonna haul you off to that black room in the back.
Live, nobody would ever see it, and I'll never be heard from again. But
second question. What secrets did you bury in your ex-wife's grave on your property? That's my next question. Can we have her exhumed?
Actually, all jokes aside, the first question I've asked him, Donald Trump, do you believe that you are a con man? That would be legitimately my first serious question. And then I would just go from there. Because I'm like, we've all known you were a con man since like at least the 80s. And that's why you've been president twice, because you identified the people in this country. You found out what their fears were and who they hate, and you've played them like a fiddle. Middle America, the forgotten people, and blah, blah, blah. We're going to make America great again. I'm going to give you your country back. And you've conned those people and played them like a fiddle every step of the way. You got them to
exactly.
So,
and this is for the people watching. The man used to be a registered Democrat. He was a registered Democrat and he was not for any Republican policies, even though he was rich. He was not. He publicly spoke out against them, even though he was a known racist. He was a registered Democrat and a racist because the man has no knowledge of what it means to be a Democrat. He didn't know what the difference in the party was, really. He really did not. He just was registered that way, just the mental capacity of a sixth grader, like you said earlier. But then when the NFL owners would not allow him to buy a team, that's when he switched to Republican and said, I'm going to run for president and I'm going to tear this shit up. And that's exactly what he's done. Because he knew Democrats would not, at that point, he knew Democrats wouldn't vote for his ass. So he had to go Republican because they so dumb. He could shoot somebody on 42nd Street in the middle of the square and they still would vote for him. And he was right. Go ahead, Fred.
You just remind me of this question that I've been asking for about 10 years now that I haven't gotten a good answer to. And this is for you two specifically, and then for everybody out there in the comments. So again, when Trump first decided to run for president, he's going to drain the swamp, right? The government is we got to get these people out of here. So think about Ross Perot. My question, I've known who Donald Trump was since the early 80s. Donald Trump has name recognition. Everybody in America knew who Donald Trump was back in 2015. Donald Trump was allegedly a billionaire, and if not a billionaire, close enough to it back in 2015. So my question is, if you have name recognition and you have enough money to begin a campaign, you can start funding a campaign until you get sponsors and donors. Why are you on a big name ticket in the first place? If you're going to drain the swamp, why would you join the swamp? So my question is, why is Donald Trump didn't run as an independent? Why did you join one of two teams that you have to get rid of? And I'm just still waiting for a good answer for that. Because if
because he had to join one of those teams in order to win, so he can do it. But he still didn't do it.
But my question is, why did he have to join?
Because he wants power.
Money.
Let me tell you why. Because that's the only way he knew he could get power. This was all orchestrated way back then, and it all started with the whole birtherism stuff.
The
birtherism argument, that was his test case. That was his focus group when he started doing the birtherism. He did that, and they studied what happened. How did the nation respond when he kept questioning Obama's birth and all of that and his citizenship? And they studied it. Oh, okay. I can say this and I can say that.
Hold on. Let me go back to the beginning. Okay, so my question is for Trump supporters. Let me put it.
Oh, I understand that.
Because you know what time it is. But for y'all Trump supporters that believe that Trump is an outsider and he's there to drain the swamp.
Right.
My question is, if you got a swamp and half the swamp is Democrat and half the swamp is Republican, and somebody's going there to drain the whole swamp, why would they drain half the swamp? So my question is you. My question is for Trump supporters.
I got it. I got it. They can't answer that.
Exactly. Because
they can't. Listen, Fred, 9 times out of the 10, the questions that you ask them, they cannot answer. The only answers they give are social media sound bites that they have been fed in these conservative chat groups and from Fox News. That's all they do. They just regurgitate the stuff that they've been told to say. They have no knowledge. They know nothing. They don't know shit. They really don't. That's the reason why when you invite them on to talk about these things with you, they won't do it because they can't.
They can't. And they can't. Start asking questions, and then you get to the point where you get questions that you can't answer. What does that tell you? Like, what does it tell you when
it doesn't tell them anything? No, they're brainwashed, so it doesn't tell them anything.
Like, what does it tell you when a man runs for president? Chooses a vice president. We don't assign you a vice president. You get out of all the people you choose a vice president. Because I'll say this before, like when he was debating Kamala, and every time he brought up the fact that Kamala was the first vice president in history, if I'm Kamala, the first thing I'm asking, let's talk about your vice president. Where's he at? Why is it that the man that you handpicked, you chose Mike Pence? Where is he at? Because to me, that speaks volumes. The fact that everybody that you've worked with, they're either all in trouble or none of them want anything to do with you. Like, what does that tell you? Like, we want to we job applications. If you got a sheet of references, and I call every reference, and every single person I call is either unavailable because they're in prison for dealing with you, or they're like, "Oh my God, I would never work."
Oh my God, I would never.
Guess who I'm not finna hire? But America hired him again. Everybody they work with either wants nothing to do with them or has had their life ruined. Look at Rudy Giuliani, America's mayor.
Yeah, I can't even talk about that.
Go into 7-Eleven and get a hot dog on credit right now.
I can't even talk about that dude. He's a sick man. But anyway, I didn't watch the inauguration. The first inauguration that he went to, I was so sad that it was Obama's, last year. I watched the beginning. I watched when they were showing the Obamas at the White House for the last time. And then I watched them drive to the inauguration. I watched them and the Bidens get introduced and come into the thing there for the inauguration. And I watched as they went off to the Air Force Two to get on the helicopter to leave. And I didn't turn it back on after that. That was the first one. The second inauguration, I didn't watch at all. Not 1 second. And I'll tell you this too. His first term, I never watched any press conferences or any speech, nothing. I read about it, but I cannot sit through something and listen to his voice. His voice, just hearing him talk makes me want to throw up. And I'm still that way now. I refuse to listen to him. I watch with the sound off and look at the subtitles or whatever you want to call them, but I will not listen to him because I can't stand to hear him talk. And I can't look at him because of the way he holds his mouth when he talks. He looks like a criminal. Even just looking at him, everything about him is just disgusting to me. So I can't look at him. But anyway, so moving on, since the inauguration, as we know, he and his administration has done some shocking things. Not unbelievable, just shocking to me. Like You remember the Nazi salute thing that Elon Musk did? Even the Germans are saying, even the Nazis that are still over there is calling that. But these people want to say it wasn't that. Then there was the attack on all the agencies. He's firing all these civil servants. Musk running around up in the Oval Office like he's running things, holding press conferences in the Oval Office like he the president. He's standing there with casual clothes on, with the president sitting there in a suit. And he's standing there like he running stuff, like almost like a puppeteer. He's got everything except for the strings attached to Trump's head. Oh, I said his name again. To his head. You know what I mean? It's bad. He even got West Point to get rid of all the groups and clubs that are pro women, pro minorities, pro LGBTQI plus, all of those except for the Polish ones, because that's white people. Mind you, the Polish group is still there. The Italian group, the French group, they're still there. But all these other groups, the Asians, the African American, the women's engineering group, all of these things have been eliminated and wiped from their website. You can't participate. This is just madness to me. So all these things are going on. And I mentioned earlier how other countries are having all these protests. Where will all of this go? How far do y'all think that this is going to continue to go? Is there a limit? Or are they going to just wipe out everything while we're just sitting here?
Yep.
What you think, BJ?
I've been paying attention to a lot of different things and some stuff. So I kind of sort of am a conspiracy theorist. So I always think something is more than what it seems. I watch too much TV, too many movies, so they're only going to give you what they want you to know. But behind the scenes, is something else always going on. Like it's been too many planes going down, malfunctions, people getting loss of jobs here, loss of jobs there. This not working, that's not working. The price of this it's been a lot of stuff I've been paying attention to. So the last thing I seen was he banned Associated Press from coming in the Oval Office and getting interviews and whatnot. Like 2 days ago, I think he banned the Associated Press because they wouldn't do something that he wanted them to do
because they refused to call it the Gulf of America.
Yeah, that bullshit. Like he wouldn't call it the Gulf of America. This shit, like it's just
idiotic.
Some stuff just don't make sense to me.
It's madness. This is the things of a madman. These are the behaviors of a madman. Seriously.
Yeah. Alphabets just showed up.
America. Oh yeah, he was. They had some issues out there. It was an earthquake. It was an earthquake. I'm glad he's all right.
Hold on. Now I gotta adjust it. All right.
Hey, what's going on?
There he is. Hey, Marcus. Glad you could join us.
What's going on, y'all? I hope y'all know I would never leave y'all hanging. I felt the tremor. I live on the outskirts of town, and it knocked out power where I live out in the boonies, so I'd never leave you hanging. Sharon, we've been.
I know.
We've been talking about this for a minute, but I'm here. I'm sitting over here. I'm like, what the hell? I ain't never been. I've been in one earthquake before when I was in Afghanistan. But how's everybody doing this morning?
We doing great. Doing great.
Yes, sir.
BJ was giving his answer about the madness we have been experiencing since Inauguration Day. But BJ, what were you saying?
But at the same time, because I know we are an hour in, right? And this hour in, we have been talking about all the things that we don't like that his administration has done. So it is some things also that he's done that I'll be like, all right, sure, that makes sense. It's gonna be insensitive as shit, but making it two sexes is male and female. That's about the only thing off the jump I can agree. Oh, so I see that he also like the Section 8 thing that is not going to be is not a long term thing. So now he putting a limit on the people that's in Section 8 that've been living there for like 40 years now. Like, yeah, your time is almost up. I seen about the child support as well. If the man is paying child support, or whatever parent is paying child support, they get to claim the kid on the taxes. But I didn't see the deep dive into that. I only saw the headline story. So I did try to Google it, but a lot of information didn't pop up. And then it only popped up for that 1 hour or two, and then nobody else spoke about it again. So I can't really say that, you know what I mean, how far that's going to go. But 80% of it has been a little iffy, but it is a few things out there that actually make sense.
Iffy.
Well, for me, my answer is 0. There's nothing that I can agree with. Nothing. Because it's the way that he's doing it. It's just like there are some people out there that agree about this whole roundup of people that they say are illegal and all that. They agree with it. Oh, yeah, just get rid of them. Yeah. The problem is the way that they're going about it is very racist. They're looking at people who just speak Spanish and have skin that's dark and they look like Mexican, but they're not going over to the neighborhoods full of illegal South Africans or illegal European people in this country. They're not going in their neighborhoods. ICE isn't going over there. So for me, I can't agree because they're not doing it ethically. What they're doing is nothing but fear mongering. It's very KKK like to me. That's what it is. They're night riders. They're doing it in the daytime. That's what they're doing. I cannot support government, our nation, who's supposed to be a nation where give me your tired and poor. We might as well just take the doggone Statue of Liberty and ship it back to France. Might as well, because we're not living up to that at all. We're just not doing that. And then this whole going into the government agencies and just firing people left and right, shutting down websites and all this stuff, wiping stuff out, erasing things. First of all, it's going to hamper their ability to provide service to all of us, including the people who support this man, right? Second of all, it's not right. Where are all these people going to go for money? Look at the increase of unemployment. What states are going to be able to handle all this unemployment that these people are going to have to file for all at once? Because he's just sweeping, laying off people, trying to run the government like a corporation, which you can't do.
First, you got to care. First, you got to care about the people first in order to even get that far. Like that's what I'm saying. So you cutting all these jobs. He don't care about that. He don't care that you can't feed your family because his family's straight. You know what I mean? He don't fear that. Like Homeland Security, you laid them off. The air traffic control, you laid them off. Now you want to cut the military budget in half. Our border's about to be open. It's about to be free country over here.
Let me tell you this. The biggest part of this, his supporters believe that he's doing this to cut government waste and fraud, and that's a lie. He's doing this simply to put more money in his pocket and his friends' pockets. That's why he's doing this. All the agencies, the first 8 agencies that he shut down were all investigating Elon Musk. Every one of them had an ongoing investigation of Elon and his practices with his companies that he's built and taken over and stolen from people. All of them shut down now. All the documents. That's why he had to get access to the information so he can get all that stuff and get rid of it.
Because they denied his access.
That's what he's doing. And he's got the right tech people to do it. Yeah. And people are like, oh yeah, he's just getting rid of waste. No, that's not what this is about. It's bait and switch. He got you over here looking at this and then under the name of cutting waste while they're doing all this crap over here, taking money out of your pocket and mine. This is the problem. Yeah. Wake up. That's all I want to tell people. Go ahead, Marcus.
It's I try to always look at it where somebody has a, some type of redeeming quality. I really do.
I
And
try.
what the issue is people don't look at history. I'm a historian. I'm
Mhm.
a big historian. I do a football show, but I'm also a historian. I look at the history of football, but I look at history, period.
Yep.
If you
Me
can't at
too.
this stage see the parallels, if you can't see the parallels of what's going on, then at this stage, either I try not to question people's intelligence, but I got to question your intelligence. I really have
Mhm.
to question your intelligence to just see the things that are going on and be like, oh no, it's nothing like that. You know, what's that saying? If back during the Roman Empire, if you give them bread and circuses, then you can keep them enslaved forever. If you
Forever.
look at like the gladiator movies, that's what Commodus did. You're throwing bread up to they had the the Coliseum. Keep everybody at the Coliseum all day. Throw fruit up to the stand and bread, and you can control them. And that's really what you throw them just enough to make it think like that they care about you. And then you see, while they're screwing you, behind your back. Elon Musk, what will it take for people to understand? What will it? What's the red line for you? Now you saw this man for 4 years in his first term, and all the things that you saw, all the things that you saw, and one of the people that I really just infuriates me is Mitch McConnell and a lot of these
Mhm.
Republicans that are in the Congress because you could have stopped them, but y'all were so power hungry. You impeached him once, you impeached him twice. At the very least, okay, you don't want him to go to jail, which he should be in jail. He should be in prison,
Mhm.
and he's indebted to Elon Musk because I believe if Kamala had won, he would be in his trials right now.
Yeah.
Judge Chuckin was ready to. It was all the black women that was about to hem him up.
Right.
Judge Chuckin, Letitia James, the girl in Georgia. She kind of upset me. She kind of
Yeah.
upset me because I'm like, I get it. You're trying, what you do in your personal business. Too much is at stake. You trying to link up with your
Mhm.
boyfriend and stuff like that. But if y'all can't see what's going on now, Mitch McConnell, he never liked Trump. You're the Senate Majority Leader, and they needed like 5 or 6 votes to at least if you don't want to put him in prison, you could at least be like, we're gonna bar you from running again.
Right. Didn't do it.
As dumb as Trump is, he learned from his first term. It's like, so he had some people in there, people that I may not have agreed with. I respected General Mattis. I'm a military guy. General Mattis, if you ask any Marine, Mad Dog Jim Mattis, all of these people that were guardrails, they're kind of like, sir, you can't do that. Sir, no, you can't do that. No, you can't just shoot people. No, you can't make a moat at the southern border. I live in El Paso. Like you can see Mexico from my house.
Right.
So immigration here is like a big thing, but they're complicit. And then the other thing that infuriates me is when I see idiots, and I'm gonna call them just straight up idiots because I try to use other adjectives and nouns, but at this stage, you're just a damn idiot. People like Kanye West, and I may have missed it. I'm sorry because I just got power back. So Kanye West and Nelly and these artists that are performing. Just Snoop. I love Snoop Dogg. And you
I
were
do
the main
too.
one. You were the most vocal. Who's gonna be the first person, the first jigaboo who's gonna go out there and perform? I'll be the one who performed for a master. And you're the first one jumping up there because they don't think that they don't think that it pertains to them. They don't think
Mhm.
it pertains to them. You walk around, I'm a black Nazi. You selling t-shirts with swastikas on them, and you're a
Swastika.
black man?
Mhm.
What kind of coonery and buffoonery is that? Just coonery and just happy as can be to be around power. who's that? Byron Donalds and that old big gum Tim Scott.
Tim Scott, South Carolina.
This dude is patting you on your head as you walk up the stairs, and he patting you on the back of the head. If Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, or any of these people, like our ancestors, they're rolling over in their grave. They're rolling over in their grave. It's like, what are you doing?
What are we
I
doing?
went out there and got hosed by water hose and had dogs sicked on me for this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's disappointing.
It's disappointing.
Here's the thing about this is white supremacy, period. And I see my guy Frederick over there, Curry County, up in the house. We've had discussions and stuff like that. If you can't see the overall scheme that they're trying to do, by 2040, I don't mean it's. I just got a lot of stuff, and I was looking forward to this year. So please, y'all bear with me. By 2040, the majority in this country was supposed to be
brown,
Spanish
speaking
people.
Mm-hmm.
No, just brown.
Black
people. We just
not us.
Spanish speaking people. That's all Latinos. That's all Latinos. And like you said, Sharon, that's where they're targeting. That's where they're targeting. That's where they're targeting. They're not going to get the Greenland, people from Norwegian or his wives. His wife Melania, who looks like a Bond girl, you talking about anchor babies. Barron Trump is the biggest. Barron Trump, Tiffany, Eric, all of them. Donald Jr. They're all anchor babies. But you're sitting over here, you're focusing on these people over here. It's like it's just like you said, Sharon. It's the switcheroo. It's sad, and people you voted against your own interests.
They don't know that, and you tell them, and they will not accept it. It's so wild to me. But I mean, it's blatant. It's blatant.
People to come up to me, Marcus, you must not love this country. I served the army for.
Man, he was in the army. What are you talking about?
He did 3 combat tours, and you think he loves this country because he hugs a flag. Because he hugs a flag. But I want to say I told you so, and you hear the term, FAFO. I'm not going to say it on your show, which we know what that means. F around and find out.
Fuck around and find. I'm sorry.
But the thing about when people complain, they're like, no, I can't believe he's doing this. He told you what he was going to do. Yeah. He told you what he was going to do. Now you're sitting over here. I got, my brother-in-law. He's an air traffic controller. Oh, he's an air traffic controller. Mm-hmm. People, that I know, they got, they work for the VA and stuff like that. They're just like, you come to work, it's like your office is closed. The United States will never be taken over militarily where somebody just, we got the best planes and ships and all of that stuff like that. What they're going to do is the United States, if it's ever defeated, will be defeated from within, because people become what they're trying to do. This is a war of attrition where they just they just keep doing stuff, and you just get exhausted. You get exhausted, and our job is to remain aware. Marcus, that's all you talk about is football and politics on your show, and I'm gonna keep talking about politics because and me and my boy Frederick, we done talked about it. It's like, Marcus, you have more faith than I do. I'm never gonna give up. I'm never gonna stop. I'm gonna keep saying stuff because that's what you got to do. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. You got to keep giving it to these people. I'm sorry to take over. It just infuriates me. So short answer is no. There's nothing that he does, because I look at the give and take. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's talking about two sexes. He's talking about two sexes. Okay, he's trying to destroy democracy. There's nothing that you could do that will override that for me.
Right.
When you're
That's
when
what
you're
he's
sitting
trying
over
to do.
here and you're firing, I don't know if y'all heard about this. When you're sitting over here and you're firing the people who are in control of our nuclear weapons, because he just does stuff. He just does stuff.
Right.
And the main thing is he's never faced consequences for anything. See, when we were growing up, you do some stuff. Sharon, make up your bed. Sharon, make up your bed.
Mhm.
Your parents ain't gonna tell you too many times to clean your room, make up your bed. And if you didn't do that, there was consequence. Sharon, you better have your ass back in this house by midnight. Don't you be out past midnight. Elon Musk cussing him out. I saw Trump's childhood right in front of him. That's a kid right there. You want to see how a person's going to be when they grow up? Look at Elon, what's his name? Lil X, when he just said, shut your mouth. Y'all saw it? Shut your
I
mouth.
saw it. A child telling the president, shut up.
You're a 4-year-old kid. Shut your mouth. You're not the president.
No, he says shut your effing mouth. He said the word.
You're not the president. You're not the president. Shut your effing mouth. Now, I got 3 boys. I got 3 boys. And a 4-year-old ain't gonna say something like that unless it was said to them somewhere
around him. Mm-hmm.
What's that old saying? Kids and drunks always tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, Marcus, I was drunk. Yeah, you were drunk, but that's how you really feel. It's just that Hennessy brought it out of you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So when you're saying
Exactly.
I was drunk when I said that, nah, man, that's the way you really felt. And kids too. That's I seen commercials and stuff where the mom said something and then the kid, Mama, that's not what you said at home. You said this. They'll tell
you. They'll tell on you. They'll tell on you.
That little boy is the epitome of what's going on here. You have this. He's 4. If he's allowed to talk like that, that was a power flex with that meeting. Now, everybody in the room, they're buttoned up. They got on suits and ties and everything. Who else do you know that Trump would just let sit up there and outshine him in a meeting?
That's what I mentioned. I mentioned the way that he was dressed in t-shirt, athletic wear.
Now I know a lot of bums. I know a lot of billionaires dressed like bums. I understand but they do that specifically for it's. I dress however I want. Mm-hmm. I'm the one in charge here. Y'all are all in suits, but I'm gonna wear these denim jeans and this white t-shirt and this hoodie, and there ain't nothing y'all can do about it because I'm in charge. And Trump had to just sit there because he's indebted. He's indebted to Elon Musk. He gave him $300 million to his campaign because he knew. And look, there was a little handshake somewhere. Look, man, I'm gonna bail you out of this. I'm gonna get you out of this and help you win this election. But do understand, and that's what happens when you make a deal with the devil. When you make a deal, it's good when you get what you want. It's good when you get what you want. But then when the devil comes and it's like it's time to ante up, it ain't no fun. Trump, when have you ever seen Trump that dejected where he's just sitting there? He's just sitting there and can't say nothing. And this guy's standing up, talking down to you. You can't say nothing. So we're in for a bumpy ride. Our job, though, out here is you are the resistance. You're the resistance. Every day say something. Marcus, I can't believe you're showing me this. You're showing, yep, I'm going to keep, open your eyes. Open your eyes, man.
That's the main reason why I wanted to do this show. I don't like to talk about politics publicly, really. I know you and we chat a lot. But that's between ourselves. I don't like to talk about it in public because people are just so vicious with it. But I felt like this was necessary. But I need to let Fred get in because Fred hasn't been able to answer the question yet. But thank you, Marcus.
I'm sorry, Frederick. Do your thing, man. I know Fred. Get him, Frederick. Get him.
That's what I said. Get him, Fred.
Get him.
4,906. The phrase is when someone shows you who they are, you believe them the first time. We're on time number 4,906. I remember where I was going to go before Marcus is 37 minutes soliloquy. So back to BJ, when you talking about certain things that Trump is done that, might be okay. And I agree with that. The problem is who it's coming from. Now, had this been Biden, had this been Obama, had this been one of the Bushes or the Clintons, okay, maybe. But again, this is coming from a career criminal con man. So anything that you do that the rational side might be like, you know what, that actually makes sense. That's a good idea. I got to look at it with a side eye because, again, 4,906. So, yeah, that might be okay. But why are you specifically doing it? Trump, Elon, Heritage Foundation. Next thing I'll go to. So, Sharon, when you posed a question, you said you asked something like, okay, will it stop? What are we going to do about it? And then
where is all this going?
About, continue to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those of y'all with kids and optimism, this ain't the part of the show you're going to like. I don't think it's going to stop. If we go back to when Trump was inaugurated the first time, like the day of the inauguration or right after the inauguration, whatever, when they had the first major women's march, y'all remember that?
Yeah.
The women's march?
American carnage. He said American carnage.
Right. But women, they had the women's march that coincided with Trump's first election or first inauguration. And oh my God, what are you protesting for? Oh my God, women in Saudi Arabia have it so worse. Oh my God, must be nice to be able to go out and protest and not have a job. All right, cool. Black people, every single time we've had to go out in the streets and show our ass, it's usually been because of police brutality. And these last few years, 2020 and all that, have been no different. Black people go out and mobilize because we're tired of seeing our people that look like us laying in the streets. Oh my God, what are you protesting for? Oh my God, must be nice if I didn't have a job, blah, blah, blah. 2016, Colin Kaepernick with the anthem protest. Oh my God, what are you protesting? I say this to say is that I realize that we are a nation full of cowards. Because I'm asking, okay, you don't think that women have anything to protest about. You don't see the problems. Okay, fine. You don't think Black people and people of color have anything to protest about. You don't see the problems. Okay, fine. But the way you speak about the active protest, because, okay, these issues don't affect you. You don't see the problem. But some's going to come up where you're going to see the problem. What is it going to take for you to get up off your ass for your behalf? And I've seen it twice. Now, I can't prove it, but we all know it. From the people that had so much to say about women, the people that had so much to say about people of color, I've seen those people get up off their asses twice. In 2020, when they criminal con man Fury Daddy lost the election, they got up off their asses and went to D.C. Now, I'm not talking about the people that went to the Capitol, because that's a whole other issue. We don't have to talk about that. But the fact that Trump Nation, MAGA military, Team Tangerine, went to D.C. to stop the steal. So you can't go to D.C. because you can't afford housing, because you can't afford food, because your food is poisoned, because your government is controlled by pharmaceutical corporations, because you can't afford child care, because the veterans that you claim, because when the quarterback didn't want to participate in the pageantry, and it's like, don't disrespect the veterans, but y'all can't be bothered to do something about the veterans except for doing 22 pushes for 22 days for the veterans that can do themselves. You can't get up off your ass for any of those issues, but you can get up off your ass because your criminal con man lost an election. And then the second time was in 2020 during COVID, when they told you put a mask on. And you got and the people, I know Michigan specifically, they went up to the state buildings and everything like that, was protesting. So when your criminal con man loses an election, you can get up off your ass. And when they tell you to put a piece of cloth over your face, you can get up off your ass. But anything that matters to your life, to your livelihood, to your future, you can't be bothered with. So I sit here, I see a nation full of cowards. No, America will not do anything, because America will only recognize a tyrannical government when it starts to look like the movie Red Dawn. Oh my God. Is that a tank driving down the street? Maybe we should do something. I'm sorry, it's too late. Because I know that you and George and the boys got a whole bunker full of AR-15s, but do you have a drone? Because they got drones. So by that time, it's too late. So to your question, Sharon, I don't see anybody standing up and stopping this. And a lot of things that Marcus alluded to, like history. What was the quote in World War II when they came from the Polish people? I didn't say anything because I wasn't Polish. Then they came for these people. And then when they came for me, there was nobody left. Yeah, that's
nobody left to speak for me.
And then Marcus touched on it, and I'm gonna feel it up like as if I was Trump at a Miss Teen USA pageant. It's white supremacy, and I will die on this hill until somebody gives me another reason. Because y'all have all talked about all the things that Trump said he had done. I think Sharon and Marcus, y'all both mentioned it. I could kill somebody on 45th Avenue, nobody do anything. Because as I said earlier, he's a con man. He identified the suckers. the people in middle America. I don't think people in this nation know exactly how much of this country is still all white communities. You go to all these flyover states that they talk about, Iowa, Nebraska, all these places where it's just little town after little town after little town of all white people. And they're not necessarily bad people. They just don't know anything about anything. They don't know anything about Hispanic people because they've never been around them. They don't know anything about black people. They've never been around us, Asian people, gay people, whatever. All they know is what they see. And America has done a great job of unleashing propaganda campaigns against anybody who is not straight, white, Christian, and male. So what they know about black people is what they see about black people. What they see about black people, World Star videos. They see us at our worst. So that's what they think. So you have these people that saw something that none of us ever thought we would see. A black man sat his black ass in the Oval Office for 8 years. Now, he didn't do anything to y'all, but he just had the audacity to sit his black ass in the Oval Office for 8 years. You factor that in with now Oscar So White and everything that's going on, all these groups. Basically, America becoming what America has always been, this beautiful land of diversity. Well, guess what? White people, y'all ain't got the only voice in the room. Y'all still have the loudest voice, but it ain't the only voice. And they see this. And as I know Sharon, y'all, I think Sharon and BJ, y'all talked about Marcus, like what you say, 2040, everybody's going to be brown. They are terrified. They are losing their country. America is no longer that iron grip of white supremacy. It's still there, but it's loosening up a little bit. So here comes criminal con, man. Oh, y'all are afraid that y'all are losing y'all country? Guess what? Because I'm a narcissist, I want to be part of an exclusive club. I want to be able to say that I was president. Yeah, we all of us billionaires, we all got our names on companies, we all got our names on buildings. But you know what you don't have, Warren Buffett? A seat in the Oval Office. You know what you don't have, Elon Musk? That's what I want to be president. What's the best way for me to be president? I need supporters. Who are my supporters? These people that have been forgotten about. So I'm going to convince y'all, or I'm going to reaffirm to y'all that, yeah, you're losing your country. Yeah, the brown people are coming. The gay people are coming. The non-Christian people are coming. But guess what? I can save that for you. I can help you make America great again. America was 100% unequivocally controlled by white people. Anybody looking knew who was in charge. Yeah, we got a lot of black people. We got a lot of Asians, whatever. And we got some people that are having success. But the top rung of that ladder, that top rung, oh, that's white. Oh, yeah. Tyler Perry here, Oprah Winfrey here, LeBron James here, Magic Johnson here. But that top rung is white. Yeah, we had a black president, but he operated in a system that was set up by white people and for white people. So even with that, still that top rung is white. So as long as these people are convinced that they are losing their country, and that is their biggest fear, is that America is going to be a brown country by 2040, Donald Trump to them represents the best and only shot at making sure that doesn't happen. That's why no matter what he says, no matter what he does, no matter how foolish he is, no matter how embarrassing he is, no matter how much he humiliates us on the world stage, at the end of the day, Donald Trump is going to keep America white and get America back to the whiteness that it used to have.
That's what they mean by great again. That's what they mean.
Please give me another reason to justify why you would support a man that has told you he wants to have sex with his daughter, why you would support a man that has 34 felony convictions, why you would support a man that was found liable for sexual assault or whatever like that, and owes hundreds of millions of dollars, why you would support a man that's out here hawking tennis shoes and out here hawking Bibles. Explain to me, if it ain't white supremacy, tell me what it is.
And see, that's the thing that really gets me, Frederick, is, and I go back and forth with people, and they're like, well, they're all the same. Look, I did not agree with Biden, but I don't think with everything he did, but I don't think Biden was a bad man. Biden and Trump, they're the same person. No, they're not. And if
they're not.
You're going to, Biden, look, you could tell he was diminishing. You could tell that he was diminishing. I don't think, and Biden did things, but I don't think Biden was trying to, take over the country. When they lost the election, Kamala went up there, certified the election. He was there. He brought the family, got, Melania and Trump, showed them back around the White House. When Trump lost, this guy, he gets on the airplane, doesn't even, they usually do the tour together. Well, he left like 2 or 3 hours early before the inauguration. Didn't go to his inauguration.
Didn't go.
And you're saying that they're both the same person. They're both the same person. One put the first Black female Supreme Court justice ever in the history. We've had 3 Black Supreme Court justices, 3. And Biden puts one up there, and the first Black female ever, Thurgood Marshall, Clarence Thomas, Ketanji Brown Jackson. You had the first Black female, Black South Asian female vice president. It's inclusive. And you look at everybody on Trump's staff, enablers, you look at his press secretary, blonde hair, blue eyes. Like, you can't see that. You can't see.
They don't want to see it.
The most unqualified people he could. Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense, over Lloyd Austin, a 40-year general. Linda McMahon, Vince McMahon's wife, WWE, in charge of the Department of Education. The most unqualified people he can see, and they're just sitting around. They're sitting around in the days. Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr. with brainworm, and these are the people. It's like it's not just Trump. It's the people that he brings along to the worst people.
Hold up, Marcus.
And people aren't going to see until there's a real emergency. You want to get rid of FEMA?
This is done. No, Marcus. This is done by design. He puts these people in these places so that he can do what he wants to do unchecked. It was written in Project 2020. This is what's so amazing to me. The playbook was written, and people did not want to read it. Did not think they needed to read it. They thought it was a joke. I'm telling you, if people were to pick up that book, pick up that 2025 and read it for real, they would be stunned at what they voted for.
Marcus, this is all I'm saying. That I mentioned before you got here, Marcus, but for Trump supporters. So Marcus, you just talked about all the people that he's been appointing, right? For Trump supporters, again, he was president, then he lost, and then he came back. How come he ain't bringing none of the people from his last administration back? Where are all those people at? Trump supporters, all the people he appointed last time, when we have all the best people, we have very fine people, all the best people. How come you ain't give none of them people their jobs back, Trump? Where are them people at? Oh, that's right, because they're either all trying to get their life back together because everything you touch turns to crap, or none of them they all refuse to work with you. So again, for people out here who want to justify your support of Trump, why is it that nobody that he associates with either can or wants to have anything to do with him?
It's a loyalty with him as a one-way street. He was on TV the other day, and they asked him, they go, what do you think about J.D. Vance taking over in 2028 since you can't run again? No. Do you think he'd be a good president? No.
Quickest no.
To your own vice president.
Now you're not supposed to run. We had a.
You know what it reminded me of? Y'all remember in Django Unchained? Y'all saw Django, right? When she was like, okay, now Django's a free man, so you can't treat him the way you treat the rest of slaves. You want us to treat him like white folk? No. That's not what I said. That was the first thing I thought of when he said no. That was the quickest no I've ever seen in my life. It was hilarious.
And we don't catch stuff like that because I watch everything and I'm like, okay, for you to say that you're the sitting vice president. Now you had a person in Congress. You had a person in Congress that started some legislation to say he should be able to run for a third term. Y'all saw that, right?
Right.
And he should be able to run for a third term. You had another fool in Congress that said he's proposing a bill that we take Greenland. If it wasn't so dangerous, you laugh. He says we should take Greenland and rename it Red, White, and Blue Land.
Oh, really? I thought you said Trump land.
Okay. No. Red, White, and Blue land. That's what he said.
I had to look that one up because I'm like, that just sounds so damn ridiculous. That one.
You would. These are very unserious people. Very unserious people. Just very unserious people.
Well, hey, let me get this in. Even those are examples of madness, like I was saying earlier. These are the musings of a madman. But there is another bill being introduced that says women who are married that have their last name changed to the husband's last name, they don't get to vote. The man votes for both of them if they've changed their last name to their husband's. This is a real bill being introduced.
Hey, Sharon, send me that link, Shorty. Send me that link. I gotta read that.
I gotta show it to my sister has it. I'm gonna get it from her because I didn't know about this till she told me about it. And the thing is, this is real. This man, these are people from the Heritage Foundation. They actually believe that women should not vote, that they need to find a man to vote on their behalf. They get one vote instead of two, and it's two people. They believe in that. And I mean with fervor. And so this is why it's dangerous that the Republicans control the House and the Senate, because they're the ones that get these things passed. And now we have to sit up here and worry about this. And me being a Black woman, I'm worried about it from both sides. And I'm single, and JD Vance think that single people shouldn't have as much rights as married people. That's what our vice president is saying. Okay, that's what he honestly believes. This all is terrifying to me because this nation is in danger. And people do not understand when people comment that the United States is the greatest nation on earth, this comes beyond arrogance, the arrogance of Americans. This is the view of other countries who don't hate us as well. And now they can't say that because they know our borders are being compromised. Our Constitution is being used as toilet paper to wipe the asses of Americans now. And they see a president who is pushing to take over nations like they're just going to dinner. And people are not doing enough. So I want to end with this. I mentioned earlier how people in other nations are protesting more than we are. I believe that we Americans are forgetting the power of the public protest. That's what I believe. I don't know if any of you have read the book, Operation Breadbasket. Any show, any chat room, any conversation that I'm in with people about what we need to be doing, I tell them to go pick up that book and read it. It's about the civil rights movement in Chicago and how they were able to pull it off. And that book became the blueprint for the whole civil rights movement of the 60s that got us to where we are now. And I'm telling you, even though this is 2025 and we're in the technology age, there ain't nothing like a good old-fashioned protest on your ass. Ask the nation, I think it was Austria, I can't remember what nation this was, where it was led by a woman, and they were trashing the rights of women. And one day, all the women decided to stay home from work, shut the whole freaking country down. I'm telling you, protests work. But guess what we can't do? I can't go. I was just talking to my sister. I feel helpless because I can't go down to the public square in Durham and stand by the Durham Bull that we have in the center and stand there by myself with a sign and expect some change to happen. We're not organizing and getting any of this shit together. We're doing great on social media talking about it, but we need to be in the streets. Them people in Germany, after Elon Musk did that thing, them people went crazy in Germany. I mean, almost hundreds of thousands of people went out. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know how many it was exactly, but I don't feel that the Democrats and independents who do not like what they see and they know the danger, they're not doing enough to fight it. That's my anger. I'm done being angry with them idiots because we know what they are. We know they have no integrity. We know they don't care about any of us. But who I'm mad at is the Democrats and the independents and the Republicans who also know that this is wrong and will not do anything to stop it. That's where I'm at. And that's why I'm so afraid. So
There's a
I want to know the
possibility.
last thing I want to ask y'all, and y'all got to sum this up really quick because we got to go. I just want you to tell me, are you comfortable or do you feel like enough is being done by other Americans to stop this bullshit? And I'm going to start with you, Fred.
No. And again, I'm gonna go back to Nation of Cowards because, like you just said, there's power. There's power in protest. I don't know if people are just waiting until it gets to that point if they don't understand how bad it is and that the protest should have started like 10 years ago, whatever. But yeah, because all this, like you said, we're great on social media. But I'll point it to this one last thing and I'll leave it at that. We saw an active duty service person set themselves on fire on all of Taylor Swift's whole internet, burned himself to death, and nothing happened.
Amen. Go ahead, BJ. We're going to end with Marcus.
I don't know if people know what to do at this point. I don't know if people really want to do anything. We in the middle of mind my business, but I need help. Oh, I see that that's not right, but it's not happening to me. Oh, well, he stepped up and they chopped his head off. I don't want my head chopped off. So I think we're in the middle of, I don't want to say no sense of direction, but no real leader. No, I can't even say no real leadership either. Look, I don't know. We just in the middle.
I would say
you can because you're right. But go ahead.
We just in the middle of a crossroad, like a 4-way intersection, and no matter which way you go, it's dark at the end of that tunnel. And you got to have some big cojones to walk out there by yourself, because first you got to go by yourself. Ain't nobody going with you at first. That's just, I don't.
100%.
That's where we are, Marcus.
All I'll say is it gets to a point, in the words of Martin Luther King, where silence is complicity. If you sit there and you don't do nothing, you're complicit. Well, I didn't go lynch nobody. I didn't go out and I didn't do this to women. I didn't go out and I didn't go do this. No, but you sat there and you were, so that's complicity. The best advice that I would say is stay engaged. Don't get tired. Take a break, but don't quit. That's what I used to tell people when I used to do, personal training. Take a break, but don't quit. We are in unprecedented times, and you think it can't happen here. It can happen. It can happen. He who fails to learn from history is doomed to repeat it. 1933 Germany. Oh, Hitler, he's just a crazy, this fool. He ain't doing nothing, man. He ain't gonna do nothing. When you don't stop evil in its tracks, it's like cancer and it metastasizes. Stay engaged. That's the best thing that I could say to you. Stay engaged. When you see this stuff, and I just sent y'all the article on red, white, and green, Greenland being changed to red, white, and blue land, and it sounds so absurd. And people are like, oh, what they try to do is they just try to overwhelm you with BS, and you're just like, oh my God, oh you're overreacting. No, this is real, man. This is real stuff. Get engaged. Stop being comfortable. Y'all are comfortable. You're too comfortable. I watched the Harriet Tubman movie the other day. I'll this real quick, and they told her because she was going back and forth grabbing slaves, and she gave like a little speech, and they're like, Harriet, that's too far away. And she goes, y'all are comfortable because you ain't never seen a young girl get raped. Y'all ain't ever really experienced and been in the blood and guts of slavery, where people are just murdered and girls are raped. Y'all are comfortable. Because this generation, they as the further we get away from the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 60s, these young kids, they think that you've always been able to go to a bathroom. that you've always been able to go to a counter and go get you something to eat. You've always been able to go to and drink out the same water fountain. You're comfortable because these kids don't understand. And Nana and Pawpaw, they're gone now. And we as parents, to an extent, we have failed these kids because they don't know. They think it's always been like this. The rights that they had, they think it's always been like this. Women have gotten comfortable. You think that it's always been like this, where you could vote, or where you could have a bank account, or where you could have a credit card, or where you could own property. You think it's always been like this, and it hasn't. Read history. Read history.
And stay off of this. Yes, thank you. I agree with all three of you. Here's what I'm going to say. You're right. People are too comfortable. People need to read history. And you need to watch and believe people when they show you who they are. When this election took place, this last presidential election, 92% of Black women voted for Kamala Harris. 92% did not vote for the other person. Wanted to make sure that he did not get in office. After the election and he won, in every Black woman, political and non-political group that I'm in, Black people have come out and said, don't ask me to help. Don't ask me to protest. You're on your own. Because we did what we were supposed to do. And Black women everywhere, all across my timeline, they are shutting down saying, I'm not going to do anything. Well, that lasted for me for about a week. I think I was about to tell y'all this in the chat before the show, and I didn't finish. That lasted for me for about a week. And then I heard my grandfather talking to me about how he used to have to go pay a poll tax to vote. And he would save up his little pennies, pay this poll tax to vote, hustle down to the place to vote, pay the money, and the person at the desk would look at him and say he still couldn't vote. Still couldn't vote. Nah, you ain't voting today. Nigga, you ain't voting today. And not with the A, with the ER. And I'm telling you, they allowed it. He paid the money. My grandfather was a farmer. He worked hard. He had a lot of land that he farmed. And he sent two kids to college, paid for it, everything. They didn't have scholarships and stuff. He did that on a farmer's salary. My grandmother didn't work. She stayed home. And I'm telling you, this man, to tell me these stories, how he could not cast a vote. And the first time he voted, I tell you, it meant more to him than life itself. And it bothers me. I cry whenever I go to the booth because I hear him telling me these stories. People, you gotta look and see what's happening. This is fascism. If you don't know what fascism is, please, I'm begging you, if you're listening to me, go read about it. Go get a history book. Go to the freaking library. Get off your ass and get off your computer. Go to the freaking library. Ask a librarian to point you in the direction of history, nonfiction books that talk about this stuff.
Hitler,
this stuff is not a joke. And these young people who have, like you were saying, further away from the civil rights movement we get, the less they care about it. When I tell these young people about how we couldn't, our parents couldn't vote and all that, we just got the right to vote in the 60s, man. The 60s. That's my lifetime. And y'all sitting here like, oh, so what? That was then. We good now. I got an online business. I'm making money. So I don't, I can't relate. You're not going to shame me into go to the booth because I'm making money. I'm good. Despite what they doing to all of us. It's not like that. Because when it's fascism, you get to do what they say do. And that's all you can do. What if they wake up the next day and they shut down the Instagram and all these other social media sites that's helping you sell your goods on your online business? What if they controlling the internet right now?
Didn't they shut down? Didn't
Say?
they shut down
They
TikTok
could
for a
shut
couple of
this
days?
show down. They could take this show down because of everything that we talking about right now.
Didn't they
And
take TikTok away for a couple of days and y'all
they
lost y'all
did.
mind?
They
Y'all
lost their
y'all
mind.
vision.
It wasn't even a couple
And
of days.
now they only brought it back because they thought that they were going to agree to sell it to Elon and them, but they didn't. They said no, we're not. We turned down that offer. So I'm just begging y'all to stop sitting on the sidelines like you on the practice squad and you're not really on the football team. And get involved, get engaged, like Marcus was saying, and take this stuff seriously because it is. Your rights are in jeopardy. You think you got the right to go to the store and buy some clothes and then go out to the club that night and have a couple of drinks with your girls and post selfies of you twerking in the camera and all of that? What if they outlaw that? What if they decide to come to your town and shut down all the clubs and go back to prohibition and you can't even publicly drink alcohol anymore? They could do that. And y'all think I'm being dramatic? No, this shit is real, y'all.
Stop overreacting, Sharon. You're
No,
overreacting.
this shit is real. And Dennis will tell you if he was here. Dennis will tell you I talk about this all the time. I've talked about this on this show in my final words a lot, even though we've only done like a couple of light political shows in the past 4 years we've been on. I'm just telling y'all, this stuff is not a joke. I have never been this frightened in my life. And I've been dealing with politics since 1975. That tells you how old I am. Rest in peace, Jimmy Carter. But I tell you, this is dangerous, y'all. This is dangerous. We are inviting nations to invade us and to bring Afghanistan on our soil. And if you don't know how bad it was, ask Marcus. He lived it. So I'm just telling y'all, the shit is real. Thank you for joining us. BJ, you can cut us out.